Morning, guys. So I'm back here on this cassette, single zone cassette, ceiling cassette unit, mini split, and I want to talk about something real quick that'll prolong your career and your health. So this customer, basically is telling me, hey, this has to be done today. Putting pressure on me. And I don't work very well that way, and I refuse after 31 years to work that way. You may not have a choice. You may have a boss that tells you, hey, the customer said it has to be done, so you need to get it done. Well, that's not the way the human animal is supposed to perform well under, some people like pressure, some don't. But I think that most people don't like the pressure. It does a few things. For one, you're not going to be on your A game. You're not going to do your best job, and you're not going to live very long with that stress. It just adds stress to you. So I'm going to get done what I get done today, and if it doesn't completely get done, I'm not going to stress it. I have tomorrow free, most of tomorrow free, to come out and take my time and make sure that I'm not coming back once I'm done. Because what's going to happen is if I get rushed, it gets later in the day, I get tired, my brain doesn't function as well as it does in the morning hours, and something might get missed. I might make a mistake, something might go south. So just a word of advice for you newer guys. If you feel like you're under pressure, alleviate that pressure by taking care of yourself and not stressing yourself out, and you're going to live longer, you're going to be happier. In the long run, your boss is going to be happier because you're not having callbacks, trying to rush things. So we have to look at things in an organic way and take care of ourselves and take care of our customers, of course. But we also we don't want to give in to those pressures. So I just wanted to say that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get out and get this thing started. All right, guys, so we're back. So if you remember my video from last week, this thing's wedged in there so bad that I couldn't get the grill on there flush. So in a couple hours I got my help coming to wrestle this thing around. See how I got a gap there? We got to get the unit pushed that way a little bit and square it up so this grill will go all the way up and be installed properly. So we're not going to wrestle that right now. Right now what we're going to do is I'm going to go outside and I'm going to set the outdoor unit and start seeing what I got to do for this line set. I mean, I could leave it like that and at least get them some heat if I need to come back and square it up, but I'll have my help here today, so we're going to try and do what we can. It's a Monday. I always have a case of the Mondays. All right, guys, got my pad there, got my riser feet, my heat pump. This is the Bosch's version of the Hyperheat. It's called the Max Performance. The H in the model number denotes that it's a Hyperheat unit, basically. 1.5 ton. Perfect for this rec room. There's our disconnect there. So we're going to go ahead and put our pad right here, and then we'll work on drilling out where we want to get our line set through. All right, all leveled up. Go grab my ladder, we'll get our hole drilled. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure off this window and see what gets us into the attic. So we got 1 foot to the top of that, or bottom of that trim, and let's give it another 3 inches there, so let's call it 15. Actually gets us in there. basically right where that soffit is right where our ceiling is. Let's go to the other side and take a look. All right, so our soffit comes over right there. So as long as we're basically above our fireplace roof there, somewhere up in there, we should be okay. That's where we're gonna drill. Go grab my hole saw, we'll drill that sucker. Piece of cake. Alright guys, I got the usual suspects here to cut and flare my pipes here. We're going to have a 1/2 and 1/4. So I got my backup wrench there, my tubing cutters, flaring block, Black Max flaring block, Black Max torque wrench, and my nylog. So we're going to start prepping these lines. I'm going to flare them before I put them in there, just tape them up real good. That way I don't have to do any flaring up in that attic. It's just a matter of connecting it. So let's do it. Alright guys, you've seen me flare before, so I didn't bore you with that. So I got both of my ends flared here already, so they're ready to go once I get up in the attic. Got my ends all nice and taped there. Got my line set along with my communication cable. This line's not going to be long enough to go all the way to the unit, so I'm just going to leave my communication cable on the spool there. And I'm going to have to do a connection outside, but this will at least get me done in the attic. These are just pieces I had in the shop, so I'm kind of in a holding pattern now until my help gets here. The great Luis, a good friend of mine, going to come out and help me pull this through. And then I got all set up in here. So I can go up in the attic, we'll pull that grill off, and then he can stand there and make sure the thing doesn't drop or anything, and we'll try to wrench that thing over to where it needs to be. Once that's done, I'll be happy and I won't have any more struggles on this project. So I'm going to take a little break and then we'll start doing these two things. Okay guys, excuse me, sorry. The man, the myth, the legend, Luis was here, and we got this thing up in there. So I have a little bit of a gap all the way around, because the problem is with these is you need to have 23.5 that way, and we only have 22.5, so it's not going to push up all the way. So I just made sure we got the same amount of reveal all the way around, and I'm just going to take some nice white caulking and caulk around the perimeter, and she will be fine. And then Mr. Luis also helped me get my line set up in there. So like I said, I'm doing it in 2 pieces. So she's kind of hanging there. We're going to bend these down, get them down as far as we can, and I'll have a brace to do right there to get it to the heat pump. No biggie. So I'm going to start working out here first, get all this done out here. I'll go up and flare those in up there, do my electrical, and yeah, we're getting closer. You know, like I said, take your time, make sure you don't miss anything. You don't want to be coming back. Alright guys, I got my line all finished up, all clamped up to there. Yes, I'm going to put line height over it, but I'm not going to today. I'm just trying to get their heat going, because the tenants were complaining they didn't have heat. So we're going to get this tied into the heat pump. You know, we'll have some cosmetic stuff to do tomorrow. It'll be fine. Get her set. on its feet. Alright guys, we got our unit set with our little risers here. They're far from perfect, but they've made these end caps on these blocks a little bit better so they'll stay on. A little more sturdy. You only want to hand tighten these nuts down, otherwise you'll crack this plastic. So just take your wrench and just make it snug. Don't over tighten it. Looking good. Start working on this flaring here. All right, let's take a look here. So Mr. Boschi wants 1/4 inch to be 13.3 to 14.8 foot-pounds. So we'll go somewhere in between there. And then 1/2 inch, they want 25.8 to 26.5. So we'll go somewhere around 26 or so on that. Add some nylog, and we'll get the outside done. Then we'll head up in the attic and flare those in. All right, so Boschi wants 26. There it is right there. There it is. Boy, that's not very tight. And yes, I know these lines are different colors, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap them all with white tape when I'm done, so it'll be fine. You can't really see that. Here we go. Very gentle with this 1/4 inch stuff. And I found that I can't really get my deburring tool on the 1/4, so I don't really worry about it too much on the 1/4 inch stuff. Kind of harms it more than anything. Inch with my flaring block. Nice and tight. Dab a little bit of nylog on there. We'll put it on the back of our flare here. Okay. And we're shooting for 14. Right there, if you can see that. 14. Right there. And we're flared on the outside. I'm going to go up in the attic and do the same thing. I'm not going to take my camera up there though. Alright guys, moving along. I got busy working. You've seen me do pressure tests on these before, and if you don't know how to pressure with nitrogen, then I don't know what to tell you. So we're looking good. Already got our vacuum pump down to, she's bouncing around, got some moisture in there probably, but we're down. We're working on getting to where we need to be with it. Let's go inside here. So we still got a little gap there. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out my fine tool tomorrow, and I'm going to just peel just a little bit off of each of the trusses here, and I'll be able to get this grill all the way up, and I don't have to worry about trying to caulk that, because the manufacturer recommends that you don't have a gap there. You need to make sure your grill is perfectly level. So anyway, we'll get that fixed up tomorrow. But I got all my wiring done in there. It's 100%. I just got to wire outside, and our vacuum should be where it needs to be, and we'll fire this guy up. All right, guys, heat is on. She's purring like a kitten at 72 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and leave her there. Like I said, I'm going to get my fine tool. I'm going to trim off a ½ inch or so on each side there, just so I can push that grill up all the way. I'll do that tomorrow. Left the tenants, the renters, a note. It says heat is on. I have a half day of cosmetic things to wrap up tomorrow. I know you won't, but don't run the AC as the drain isn't hooked up yet. Josh, the HVAC guy. Remote's there, user manual's there. Very easy to operate. Come out here. So yeah, I got the drain still to do, you know, fixing that grill in there. And then I need to finish insulating my 2 lines, tape them up real nice. I need to stick my electrical, my communication cable here into a seal tight, liquid tight. What else? Oh, I got my line hide here, seal my hole up there, and just pretty everything up. I got my line hide and my PVC here, so it'll be ready to go for tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow for the finish.